We are the Ewoks, friendly spirits from the forest room. We're friendly spirits from the forest room.
We are the Ewoks.
Oh my gosh, the opening song for this, oh, it's so brutal. I don't know how anybody could have survived listening to this for the 20 some odd episodes.
Welcome back, listeners, to Star Wars Total Watch. But yeah, how about that theme song?
Theme song.
Yep. Lots of E's. Lots and lots of E's.
Yeah,
And then a little bit of walks.
and then a lot of walks. It's just a very odd sounding theme song.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Yeah. I looked it up. It's by a guy who goes by Taj Mahal.
Okay.
And he is a jazz and blues musician. Looks like he's got a number of albums and has done songs that have been in movies and such.
And boy, do we have a treat for you folks, because he's here on the podcast!
Wow.
What?
No, we're not that
We're
important.
not that famous.
So washed up he has to come on our podcast.
But we are recording live at the Taj Mahal in his honor.
There you go. No Ewoks in sight. How strange.
Ewoks.
Yeah, we're in the wrong planet for this, you guys. We are starting a whole new world of Star Wars this week. We're getting into the Ewoks 1985 Ewoks cartoon.
Classic.
It's definitely a kid's show, made for kids.
Yeah.
Yep, more than droids, I would say.
I do vaguely remember checking this out at the old
Yeah?
video rental store on
Okay.
VHS and watching it when I was very young. Other than like the animation style, I don't really remember much about watching
Huh.
it, which I don't know what that says about the show. Maybe it says more about my,
Your memory.
yeah, or my memory.
Man, I watched this on 1.5 speed.
What?
I'm sure the experience is not diminished whatsoever.
I've seen these once, kind of seen them. Like, I played them on my computer in the background while I did other things, just to kind of see what they were about. But, like, I don't really remember much about it. So this feels like
You didn't analyze them in depth like we're going to now.
I've never done that before. No.
Has anyone done that before?
Right, you know what? We're, I think, breaking new ground in Star Wars podcasting here.
Right.
There are a lot of shows out there covering the Clone Wars and whatever, but yeah, find me another podcast that's gonna dig into these
It's
cartoons.
very niche, you know. The fans of the Star Wars Ewok cartoon are few. But we're here for you.
Woo!
There are dozens of us.
Yeah.
And you just see the one guy, yeah, they're talking about the podcast!
Talking about us on the
They're
podcast.
talking about us. So what happens in this episode? The cries of the trees.
They cry quite a bit.
Yeah.
This episode basically is about some witch on Endor, not the one from the movie, but she takes one of those little fairy creatures and like lights it on fire and sends it out.
Like cast a spell on them.
Right, like they're not really on fire. I don't know. But somehow they start a forest fire and then like it's up to the Ewoks to put it out, and that is the essential plot of the episode.
Well, who are our main characters? Because there's a lot of characters in this show.
Wicket? Actually, did you...
Wicket W. Warwick?
Yeah, did you know that was his last name? His canonical last name is Warwick.
His last name sounds suspiciously like Warwick Davis. I didn't think about this for the droids, but we should find out who these voice actors are, because I bet they're in everything from that time period.
It was voiced by Jim Henshaw.
See, I don't know my voice actors, though. I'd have to IMDb them.
He voiced one of the Care Bears, apparently.
These kind of are, like, little Care Bears.
Isn't that what we were watching?
Oh, he plays one in this too.
The name sounds really familiar. He's been a writer for a couple of things.
So you've got Wicket, you've got his friend Tebow, who is the one that hypnotizes that animal.
Guy. Also, he totally looks different than he does in the movie.
Yeah, I feel like there's some of these characters were in the movie, but they don't necessarily look the same or have the same like role. I think Tebow and somebody else they swapped them somehow from the movies and the cartoon. Maybe Tebow and Paplu. I don't know. So Paplu is that older one, like the older kid with the mustache, kind of.
Yeah.
I thought he was an adult, but apparently.
How does he get grouped in with these kids?
I don't know. He's like the older college age brother or cousin or something.
He's like the total failure of the clan. throw him in with the kids.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's just getting them into trouble.
Never amount to anything.
Hey guys, come play this game with me. Get in trouble.
Right.
Then you've got Low Gray, who is the wizard, shaman, whatever, and Chief Chirpa.
Good old Chief Chirpa.
And
what's their name?
and then Nisa, Princess Nisa, who is the daughter of the chief.
Oh, yeah, she was not in this very much.
Mm-mm.
No, she's in some of the others, I believe.
I mean, they don't go to the actual Ewok village very much in this episode.
And who can forget about your Bozzy?
Oh yeah, what was it? Their aunt?
Get angry at Wicket all the time.
Wicket. There's no Ewok priestess from the movies. There's no Chukachok the woodsman, sadly.
Well, that's because he died.
Oh, that's right. Whoops.
Or maybe when does this take place? And canonically, does this take place before the Ewok movies?
I feel like somewhere it said it was before the movies, but I don't know. Like, who can tell?
Right.
This has less to do with anything than the droids did.
Yeah, for real.
I was thinking, though, wouldn't it be great if we had a little animated Mace and Sindel running around?
I mean, it kind of felt like that, like because they're all speaking English. It's not. Thank goodness they're not speaking in their Ewok language. That would be unwatchable.
For
the entire series.
The holiday special all over again.
But their little kid voices made me kind of think of the kids from the Ewok movies, the live action.
Yeah,
movies.
right. I think in those movies it was hard to tell how old the Ewoks were. Here it's pretty clear. The main ones we're following are the kids. You know, you're identifying with the kid Ewoks who are trying to, prove that we're old enough to handle things as much as the adults are.
Mm-hmm.
And of course the kids save the day.
They all act so much more human in this too.
I don't know. Wicket seemed to be taken after C-3PO and just started bumbling and tripping over everything at the very beginning of this episode.
Yeah, he's kind of clumsy. They're always like playing pranks on each other, but then they end up pulling him on his aunt by accident.
But the Ewoks play that game, Drop the Sack.
Drop the sack game.
What are the rules for Drop the Sack? You climb up in a tree, and you drop a sack on someone.
A sack full of mud, I guess.
One of the Ewoks is running around with a target on his back.
Yep.
Of course, there's a Wikipedia article on the game. Players formed two sides, the droppers and the targets.
Oh my
the droppers
goodness.
filled several sacks with mud and climbed high into the trees with them. So the objective was to run through the field without being hit by the sacks.
Nice.
That's it.
The game apparently was actually forbidden. Like, I guess they forbid the game because Ewok elders say that little kids can't have fun.
Can't have any fun.
No, it's because it kept falling on people who weren't part of the game.
Someone's gonna get covered with mud. Can't have that anymore.
Like their aunt did.
This witch has a vendetta against Low Gray.
Yeah. You don't really get the actual backstory there, but somehow they go way back, she said.
Jilted lovers. That was my theory.
Well, maybe. I didn't see that.
It's very subtle, but it's there if you look for it.
If you want it to be there.
We're already one episode in, and Daniel's already shipping people.
Yeah, so what is this species of this witch?
Morag. She is apparently a Tolga.
Wow.
The Tulag were inherently magical. Apparently, their homeworld is unknown, but they had colonies on Endor and Kashyyyk.
Oh. Okay. Not native.
Yeah, there's a lot of magic in this.
Yeah.
And I kind of suspect we're going to see a lot more, which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
I don't actually mind it.
I think it's all right. When the witch showed up in the Ewok movie, I know we were all kind of saying it felt weird to have magic in a Star Wars movie, but
Mhm.
the more I think about it, Star Wars movies are all about magic with the Force. That's the whole premise of the thing.
Yeah.
It's just that has sort of more of an explanation to it.
Right.
I mean, you could say like, well, any kind of magic they do is some kind of use of the Force.
Well, and the Force is like a force that is flowing within everything, right? It's integrated into everything. And so magic is a manipulation of the Force, then, you know?
Sounds logical. I can buy it.
Yep, whatever. We'll go with it for the sake of this show. We're gonna have to because there's a lot of magic here. Even the kind of the non-magic Ewoks, still, it's almost like they're tied to the trees somehow, like they're part of that forest
Yeah.
beyond just living there, right? Like
Yeah.
they're when the trees are on fire, they're somehow calling to these Ewok kids, like in a dream that they
Right,
have.
that is scary nightmare. But it's like the trees are crying out, the cries of the trees.
Yeah, they say the soul trees apparently, which I don't quite remember what they are, but
Well, whenever they are born, that sounded like they plant a tree. And then he says, as the trees go stronger, so do you, or something like, or it could just be metaphorical. It's interesting, and you could kind of see a connection through the Force in a way, you know, to the forest. I like that idea of like nature being a living, thinking entity.
Yeah.
I heard millions of voices suddenly crying out in terror and then suddenly silenced.
Obi-Wan was actually sensing this forest fire. Yeah, they all three seemed to have the same dream. Like, it wasn't just a dream, right? It was the trees talking to them.
It wasn't a dream, really, yeah. It's the trees calling to them through the Force.
May the forest be with you.
There you go.
we gotta look at some of the other villains, I guess, to come. The guy's name is Umwak. At least that's the one that we saw in this episode. They're Duloks.
Umlok the Dulok?
Yep.
Okay. I remember there being a Duloks in other episodes.
Yeah. He looks like a weird Dr. Seuss cat thing.
Looks like the Grinch or something.
Yeah, he's this green,
Yeah.
slightly hairy,
Kind of scruffy.
scraggly thing.
Scruffy looking.
He's a scruffy looking nerf herder.
He is.
But I think, yeah, they're going to be in some of the later episodes as villains.
And isn't that gonna be awesome?
Oh, yeah.
Gross. What's this spider nastiness here?
Oh, yeah, so there's these totally creeping spider things.
Yeah, what are they doing? Serving Morag somehow?
Well, I think they're mounts that her little minions are riding. They're Rakazak beasts,
Ew.
but they're being ridden by Yuzums, which, if you know what a Yuzum is, in the Return of the Jedi in Jabba's Palace, that CGI singer guy that was added in,
Yeah.
he's a Yuzum.
What? For real?
That's what these guys are?
Yep, they're just blue-furred ones, apparently.
Yuzum.
Yuzum.
I didn't pick up on that. Okay.
And they ride these nasty spiders. That's kind of fun. That's the same species,
Mhm.
though. They don't quite look like the same guy
No.
here, but I can see where they're coming from.
And they don't break out into spontaneous song.
They don't all sing, no.
Well, so, you know, that guy's a famous singer. He's had a lot of work done, so.
Yeah,
Oh, sure.
he had a lot of work done. And look at those pearly whites, you know.
Here's also something about the Yuzums. When C-3PO was communicating with the Ewoks shortly before the Battle of Endor, he spoke to them using the Yuzum language.
What?
Okay.
Why?
Why?
Apparently Yuzums are common enough in the galaxy.
They speak Yuzum?
So 3PO was actually
Oh.
programmed with it, and that's how he was able to communicate with the Ewoks.
He wasn't speaking their language?
I guess not, no.
Oh. So again, maybe he was like trying different languages to see what they would recognize.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Well, that's according to Wikipedia.
Wow.
Saying Wikipedia is wrong?
It's a reliable source.
No, I'm sure that is something that was printed somewhere officially, but I mean,
That's about as official as you're gonna get outside of fan theories.
okay. So they put out the fire by basically playing drop the sack from hang gliders over the
Sure.
forest fire and like dropping It wasn't water though. It was like
It was
whatever,
magic foam.
Yeah.
like a fire extinguisher.
So who's the guy that brings the magic foam?
I thought that was Logray.
The elder, who the wizard guy is.
Okay. Because I just am curious how he made it.
A wizard never reveals his secrets.
Who's this Logray guy? Pretty powerful.
Yeah. There is a lot more living on Endor than you see in Return of the Jedi.
Right.
Who knew that the forest moon of Endor is filled with so many weird aliens besides just goats and ferrets and horses?
All kinds of wild and fantastic creatures.
It definitely adds more and more to Endor, as we were saying.
Yeah.
I wasn't big on this witch as a villain. I'm guessing she's going to show up again. At the end, she says she will have her revenge,
Mm-hmm.
and so on,
Yeah.
etc.
Yep.
That sort
Yeah.
of thing. So she'll probably be back, but yeah, it's like just some random villain. It's all good. Yeah, I feel like I'll probably get one or two things out of each of these episodes. I'm not going to get a lot from the characters themselves. They feel like Care Bears, but it should keep us engaged.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Might not have quite as much to say about each of these episodes.
Right.
Our episode time might just go shorter and shorter.
Maybe if we want to make the podcast episodes longer, maybe we can think of like a different topic. It doesn't have to even be Star Wars related. We can start talking about the episode and then just go off and, make a 20-minute podcast about it, whatever. If that sounds good to you guys, like.
Just wow. This is the introductory one, so this is,
Oh, yeah.
This is digging deeper than maybe we will in some future Ewoks episodes. But there you have it, The Cries of the Trees. I don't really have anything else to say about it. Any of you guys?
I think that's plenty.
So if you are listening to the show and want to give your thoughts on the Ewoks, you can leave a comment over on our YouTube or leave a subscribe on your local iTunes provider.
Send a fire fairy message.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Don't set us on fire.
I thought it was fun to have those little fairy creatures. That ties it a little bit to the
Yeah,
movie.
that was
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, I didn't love them in the movie, but yeah, all right. Should we just sign off then?
Yeah, that's it, folks. Only 34 episodes to go, guys. We got this.
Next up is The Haunted Village.
Ooh.
So get ready for that one, guys. See you all next week, right here on Star Wars Total Rewatch.
See ya back in the forest.
Star Wars Total Ewoks.
Next time.
All right, see you next time.